Hello there, my name is Sherri Simpson. I am your intuitive guide. I love to teach you how to manifest and access your intuition. This video is about COVID predictions for the rest of the year. It's going to be kind of up and down. We know that there's a lot of stuff that is clearing this year, and you really need to tap into your heart chakra and clear that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the little bell. Thank you for watching. Hello there, my name is Sherri Simpson. I am going to do a COVID reading for you today. I know it's a little bit late in the game, but people keep asking, how long is this going to last? So let's get some information. I am using John Holland's Psychic Tarot deck. This is the Oracle deck that I am using, John Holland's Psychic Tarot. All right, let's see what's in the cards. So let's look at two cards from the past. Definitely want to make sure this is correct. Deception and envy, interesting. I know some people absolutely believe that this is some kind of conspiracy. This card is a mental card. Absolutely, many of us are being mentally challenged, wondering if we are being deceived. Definitely, we are envious of the lives we had because now many people are in lockdown, and even though things are starting to open up, there are still more cases that are happening. Let's get one more card for the past. Sacral chakra. Interesting. This card is all about your closest relationships. Absolutely. We have been living with people, stuck in confinement with people. We are certainly working on our relationships. This also tells me you're working on your relationship with yourself. Let's get some information about the present in terms of COVID and the virus. Woo! All right, new beginnings, excellent. Definitely we are experiencing some newness. The zero always tells me that what goes around comes around. Certainly we are closing the door on things and we are going forward with this new sense of vitality on the planet. Definitely, it does feel like we're finally getting our freedom. This is a major arcana card in John Holland's deck. Major new beginnings. Certainly, we're feeling that way with things starting to open again. Let's get one more card. Oops, that one. Stand your ground. This is a spiritual-based card in John Holland's deck. Essentially, you want to be very solid in your groundedness. I know many people can get stuck in their heads, and that's where things like deception and envy, as well as things like guilt and feeling judged and even shame, those things can get really stuck into our mental bodies and then create the emotions. So this is telling me that you need to be grounded to the planet as well as connected to something greater than yourself. So make sure that you are grounding. Definitely you want to feel like your feet are firmly planted. You want to make sure that you are understanding who you are and what you want. For me, I'm a manifestation expert. Essentially, I know that we manifest based on what we think and more so how we feel. Our manifestations do come from the conscious mind, but they also come from the subconscious mind. You need to be fully grounded in both your human aspect as well as your soul aspect in order for you to feel like you are living properly on the planet. Let's see what the future holds for COVID. So let's look at July 1st. Shadows, very interesting. We certainly have some planets in retrograde and some redoing and re-looking at things. The shadow card, it's an 18, so that's about endings. A 1 + 8 is a 9. Certainly we are celebrating moving forward that we have more freedom, We have had lots of time to get into ourselves, to actually get into our lightness as well as our darkness. We are certainly seeing ourselves in a whole new light. Certainly, this is about understanding that there is light and dark in everyone and everything, and you want to learn to celebrate both. So how can you look at COVID as something that was beneficial for you? What have you actually gained? How have you released some resistance and some darkness in order to create more in the light? Let's look at one more card for July. Oops, that one. Yes, of course. Mental conflict. This is a 2. Certainly it can be conflict in relationships and how we play a role in certain relationships. Many people have been furloughed from their jobs or lost their jobs completely, not to go back. Certainly there's mental conflict there about, who am I? What do I do? What do I want to do in this world? Many people are changing their careers. Many people are going online. Essentially, there's definitely going to be mental conflict about what should I do and what do I want to do. So essentially with COVID moving forward, you want to make sure that your mind is in a place that will benefit you and not drag you into the darkness. Again, with some of the retrograde planets, we are redoing some things from our past. So it gives you a chance to clear up any energy that's old or stagnant and to heal any energy and get rid of resistance. So this is a great opportunity for you to move into August in a place of power. Certainly this mental conflict card can also be fear, because we are worried that we're going to get trapped and locked down again because people aren't going to be following the rules. Certainly your mind is going to be along that track. Let's take a look at the energy of August for COVID. That one. Ooh, interesting. This is another mental card. We had the 2 card and now we have the 3 card. The 3 card for August is about heartache and loss. This is a mental card, so it does not mean that there's going to be actual physical heartache and loss, but it certainly means there's going to be some aspect of releasing old patterns, allowing yourself to become unstuck. I'm a 5-time Scorpio and I totally believe that you have to go into the darkness in order to shine a light on that so that you can move towards the light. So this is certainly about you saying goodbye to some aspects of yourself, some mental thought patterns. This is a good time for you to rejuvenate, to go into the darkness of who you are, to really shine a light on the aspects of yourself that maybe you don't like. This is a 3, you can see, I don't know if you can see this, but she's actually got this heart shape on her belly, and it looks like it's actually been cut and re-sewed. So it's like her heart is being altered, even though it's actually showing her heart on her belly. Essentially, this is telling me it's definitely about a connection to source. We see this giant cross on her chest. You know that you are connected to something greater than yourself. You really want to access that connection so that you have help in releasing what no longer serves you. You certainly want to stand in a place of confidence and power. This woman looks like her hands are tied, even though her hands are not really tied. So know that your mental aspects can keep you stuck, can keep you feeling like you're in darkness, like there's no light, can keep you feeling like there's no connection or there's a lot of disconnection. This is a choice. So allow yourself to choose to go into the darkness and shine a light so that you can come up feeling way better in August. I'm going to pull one more card for August. That one. Of course, heart chakra card. Your heart in the center of your chest, it has a front and a back. I want you to tap into the center of your chest right now as you're watching this, and I want you to ask any heartache from your past, any heartache that you have carried forward from any past life and all past lives. I want you to ask anything that you've carried forward through your genes from your ancestors. I want any of that heartache, any of that sadness, any of that deception, anything that is no longer serving you, that is residing in the back of your heart. I want you to ask that to be released right now, allowing it to be released from your body, from your cells, from your energy field. We're going to call upon Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael is the healing archangel. Archangel Raphael, please fill the backs and fronts of our heart chakras with love and light, healing anything that no longer serves us connected to our heart. Now I want you to allow him to shine that light through the center of your chest so it radiates out like this giant headlight in front of you. That giant headlight is going to guide your way through the future. You have the power to see the love and light in everything. So allow yourself to see the love and the light and to be the love and the light. That is in August. Let's take a look at September. I'm noticing here in the cards that for July and into August, we had a 2, and then we had a 3, and then we had a 4. So we are definitely climbing. I know this time of COVID for many people is a time of ascension, for us to actually move from our 3D reality into our 5D reality. Knowing that we are connected to source, knowing that the world is changing, knowing that we're drumming up all of these dark hidden secrets and they're all coming out at this time. So the first card that came through for September was Prosperity Begins. This did come through in reverse. When I see a reverse card, what it tells me is that we are blocking something that is preventing it from being upright. So essentially, if you want to see abundance and prosperity in your physical life, then you're going to need to change something, some things likely, in order for you to be the person who has all the abundance and prosperity that you want. You can see that there's a tree here and there's different fruits. There's some nectarines, it looks like, that are floating around. We see 2 different hands. It looks like 2 different people. So this creation was not just made by you. Essentially, you planted the seeds a long time ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, even 3 months ago, for the things that are coming into fruition now. So because this is in the upside down position, it means there's definitely something that you need to change to make prosperity and abundance your reality. This is in September. Let's pull one more September card. Woo! Moving on, and it's not in the reverse position. More mental patterns. So we've had, this is the 4th mental pattern card that I've pulled for you. Moving on is, you can see this fella is moving away from the darkness and into the light. This is a 6 card. 6s are all about nurturing and nourishment. If your mental patterns have been keeping you stuck in the darkness, it is time to move to nurturing and nourishment. Definitely it's time to clear out that heart chakra. Definitely it's time to allow your mental patterns to bring you into the light instead of the darkness. I'm trying to see what he's got in his hand here. It actually looks like he's got a snake or a serpent in his hand. Definitely there's some wisdom here for you about your mental patterns and releasing what is stuck and stagnant, releasing anything that's causing resistance, and literally moving into the light. When your mind moves into the light, your emotions will move into the light. And then the manifestations that you create, oops, lost a card. Your manifestations that you create will actually show up in the physical as beneficial things for you. Let's take a look at October. Moving back to September for a second, definitely this mental pattern could be about some of the COVID cases actually getting worse or fear that they will. Moving back to October here. That one. Oh, sacrifice. such an interesting card. With sacrifice, it's as though we feel that our hands are tied, kind of like this woman here who had her hands tied, but they really weren't tied. So literally there is something that is making us feel that our hands are tied. This is a major arcana, so we're talking a major life area. That could be your health, your career, your money, your closest relationships. Definitely a big, could be a house as well, I just heard. So notice that she is standing in the darkness. You'll certainly notice from John Holland's deck that there's a lot of lightness and darkness in his deck. Certainly we know that we want to move into the light, at least that's what I want for you. You can see that there's a rainbow here. Whenever I see a rainbow, I always think that there are many different options and many different paths. So I like to think, if I have a decision to make in front of me and I'm thinking black or white, so I'm only thinking there's 2 decisions, I will force myself to think of 7, even if 5 of them are totally ludicrous, because I know that I'm thinking outside of the box. So definitely this is about you. I feel like it's about tying to this card where you're moving on from the darkness. So it's time for you to sacrifice the unhealthy thought patterns, and it's time for you to move into the light. It's time for you to make broader, bigger decisions. It's time for you to really feel like what you do is important, what you do matters. She's actually got a flower in her hair here that looks like a butterfly. I'm seeing some transformation there. You're definitely seeing some flowers in the clouds. There's definitely some good here. You could choose to go into the darkness if you wanted, but I'm going to ask you to go into the light. So again here, let's take a look at October. Awareness. Love it. This is the first major arcana card. It's the 1. We did have the 0 earlier, which was the new beginnings card. 1 is definitely your root chakra. You're grounded, you're connected, you are aware that spirit exists, you are happy in the place where you are open to who you are and what you want. You know it's coming, so you're not really worried about the how. October feels like it's a really good month. It definitely feels like the energy is shifting. It feels like, I know in the stars, the energy is shifting in terms of the end of September and into October. So definitely we're going to see things shift and change. Know that it's not really shifting in September too much. So that means the kids are probably not going back to school. Maybe not until November is what I'm hearing. So just allow yourself to enjoy the time that you have at home if you have kids, because I know that can be challenging for some. The 11 card. How many of you have been seeing 11s? This one is the first card in November. Another major arcana. We've had 3 of those in a row now. Definitely what this is telling you is you have support, you have guidance. Whenever I see this card, I always think of Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael can cut any cords for you. So if there's people or energy connected to you that you are not loving, you can ask Archangel Michael to cut those cords. You'll see that Archangel Michael, or the angel here, has every single suit that is in any deck of cards. So there are many, many tools that you have available. You'll notice that there is a lot of balance in this card. The circle goes all the way around. The wings on both sides are pretty parallel and pretty even. So you're looking for balance. You're looking for balance in your human life and in your spiritual life. So certainly this is going to feel, by the time we get into November, which is the 11th month, we're going to feel like life is more balanced. We're going to feel like we cleansed and we purged. We're going to feel lighter. We're going to feel more free. Pay attention to those 11s when you see the 11:11 on the clock. Pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling in those moments, because they show up at certain times. So pay attention to those. All right. One more card here for November. That one. Love begins. So we had a 1 for awareness at the end of October, and then we had 11 for balance at the beginning of November, and now we have a 1. So definitely lots of 1s, lots of new beginnings, lots of things just starting. This is love begins. Definitely whatever you did in terms of that heart chakra in your past, which would have been in August, I believe. Well, it would have been a little bit later than that, I think. No, it would have been August. Essentially, you're beginning anew. If you're in a relationship already, this can be restarting that relationship so it feels more loving and kind. If this is you looking for a relationship, then you're looking at the end of November for a relationship to come in. Certainly with COVID, we've been experiencing some ups and downs in our own energy. We've really learned who other people are because we're spending a lot of time with the same people over and over again. Or maybe you're like me and you've been alone through this whole time, and so you've had to rebuild your relationship with yourself and with your source. Definitely this is good, this is love, this is kindness. This could also be people restarting their jobs in November where they thought something wasn't going to happen, and it's actually starting to build and be created. Definitely another rainbow there. That always tells me there's more than one option. So you have 7 different choices where that love can begin. Let's look at December. Calling on the wisdom for December. Here we go. Emotional loss. This is another heart card. Whenever I see this, it's not necessarily that you are losing a loved one, though in some cases this can happen. This is the beginning of December. Essentially, we know that this year has been extremely challenging. Our hearts have been through a lot because of job losses and loss of friends and not being able to see family and things like that. When I see this card, however, what I always think is I'm losing an aspect of myself. When you're manifesting, when you're creating, when you're following your intuition, you have to become a new person in order to have what you do not have right now. In order to become a new person, you literally must release aspects of yourself. So sometimes that can be really sad and it can be really hard. It can be really challenging for us to release aspects of ourselves. So allow yourself to get into your heart and know that you are becoming someone new, regardless of whether this is losing a physical person or a job or just an aspect of yourself. Know that it's for a purpose, know that it's for a reason, know that there's change. It's a 5, there's change and transformation coming in December. Last card. Woo, that one. The waiting game. Interesting. Definitely it feels like we have been at home waiting a lot through this entire pandemic. It is kind of nice to know in a way that the planet is experiencing the same thing at the same time, so we know that we're not alone. Definitely we are waiting for things to shift and waiting for things to happen. This makes me think that we're actually going to be stuck at home in December and that we're not going to be able to go out and experience New Year's and all the celebrations. However, I'm feeling like 2021 is going to be a totally different year. From all of these cards coming out, you can tell that you've been experiencing a lot. There's some heart changes that have been happening. There's a lot of mental shifts that have been happening. There's a lot of releasing the darkness and moving into the light. There's a lot of transformation that's happening over 2020. We are learning to be grounded. We are learning to be connected. But again, what this is telling me in terms of COVID is there's probably going to be a re-immersion around December, around Christmas time, and we're not going to be able to do what we want to do at that time. It's okay. Just connect to your spirit, connect to your soul, connect to your heart, connect to your loved ones. Know that the good stuff is coming. This is not going to last forever. I am going to pull a card now from the Archangel deck. Let's see what Archangel Wisdom is available. What do we need to know about COVID? For somebody, I don't know who this is for. Obviously, this is a general reading about COVID. But if you've been thinking about writing a book, now is the time. See if you can start the book with probably in August and complete it by December. Essentially, this is a perfect time for you to use your wisdom and to put it onto paper so that other people can learn from you and experience your journey. Career transition, that's certainly been happening a lot this year. So for those of you who are experiencing a career transition or who want one, call upon Archangel Chamuel, Chamuel, Chamuel. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So for those of you who are furloughed, if you do not love your job, it is certainly time for you to call in one that you will love. Allow yourself to connect to the divine, connect to your inner wisdom, your higher power, whatever you call it. Allow yourself to use this time during the pandemic. I know many of us, for myself included, would love to travel. Essentially, we're here in this place because the world is going through a transition and it's super important. So if you're transitioning your career, this one is for you. Thank you so much for watching the COVID video. I'm going to leave some information that Greg Braden shared, as well as another video about your life purpose. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a fabulous day.